Political leaders and politicians have long understood the power of persuasion. They know that the public opinion can be shaped and manipulated in ways that ensure their agenda succeeds. Today, we're going to delve into the psychological and strategic tools they use to influence voters and maintain control. We'll explore the role of propaganda, framing, emotional appeals, fearmongering, and mass media manipulation. By the end of this lecture, you'll have a clearer understanding of how politicians create an atmosphere of division or fear to consolidate power, and why we must remain vigilant to these tactics. At the heart of political manipulation is propaganda, but propaganda isn't just about lying, it's about controlling the narrative. Politicians use selective information, carefully choosing what facts to emphasize or omit to shape the way that people see the world. By repeating certain ideas over and over, they create a dominant narrative that seems to represent truth, even if it's far from it. This selective portrayal can make certain issues appear far more important than they are, or even distort events entirely. Whether it's through speeches, ads, or social media, the goal of propaganda is simple: to convince people to accept a certain version of reality that aligns with the politician's agenda, often without question. It works by bypassing our critical thinking processes, offering us a tidy, simplified version of complex events. Closely related to propaganda is the concept of framing. Framing refers to the way an issue or event is presented to the public and how this presentation influences how we think about it. The words we use to describe something can drastically alter our perception of it. For instance, a protest can be framed as a violent riot or a peaceful movement for change. Both descriptions refer to the same event, but each one paints a vastly different picture of what's happening. Politicians are masters of framing. They know how to present information in a way that triggers specific emotional responses, whether it's fear, anger, or hope. Through framing, politicians can guide the public to interpret complex issues in a way that suits their interests, often steering the conversation in their favor. One of the most potent tactics in political manipulation is the emotional appeal. Emotions are powerful because they bypass rational thought and drive us to act based on how we feel. Politicians frequently use emotional appeals to mobilize their supporters, and this can take many forms. For example, during times of crisis, leaders often appeal to national pride or fear of external threats. They may invoke a sense of collective victimhood, portraying their political movement as the only way to protect society from impending doom. By framing an issue in terms of deep-seated emotions like fear, anger, or even hope, politicians can rally people to their cause, often without fully considering the facts or consequences. Emotional appeals are designed to get us to act before we've had a chance to think critically about the situation. And when emotions are running high, it's easier for politicians to push through policies that might otherwise be met with resistance. Fearmongering is one of the most effective and dangerous tools in a politician's arsenal. By creating a climate of fear, politicians can manipulate public perception and behavior. When we're scared, we tend to make decisions quickly, often prioritizing safety over rationality. Fearmongering works by amplifying threats, real or imagined. Politicians might exaggerate the dangers posed by immigrants, terrorists, or foreign adversaries. By portraying a constant looming threat, they create a sense of urgency that justifies drastic measures, from increased surveillance to restrictions on civil liberties. This tactic often serves a dual purpose. Not only does it consolidate power by justifying authoritarian policies, but it also divides society. Fear turns us against each other, causing people to mistrust those who are different, further isolating groups and solidifying political control. Mass media is a powerful tool for spreading ideas, and in the hands of politicians, it becomes a means of controlling public opinion. News outlets, whether traditional or digital, are often used to disseminate carefully crafted messages. Politicians work with media outlets to ensure that their narrative dominates the news cycle, using selective reporting, framing, and emotional appeals to guide the conversation. But it's not just about traditional media. In the age of social media, political manipulation has reached new heights. Information, both true and false, spreads quickly through platforms like Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Political groups use social media to target specific audiences with tailored messages, reinforcing pre-existing beliefs and creating echo chambers that further polarize society. By controlling the flow of information, politicians can ensure that their message reaches the masses, shaping public opinion on a scale never before possible. Finally, one of the most effective ways politicians consolidate power is by creating division. By painting the political landscape as a battle between us and them, leaders can rally their base while demonizing their opponents. This is often seen in the rise of populist movements, where politicians claim to represent the will of the common people against a corrupt elite. By deepening societal divides, whether through race, class, or ideology, politicians create a sense of tribalism that makes people more likely to follow them without question. This division also distracts from more systemic issues that might require collective action to solve. Instead of uniting over shared concerns, the public is fractured, with each side focusing only on defeating the other. This tactic not only strengthens the politician's grip on power, but it also ensures that resistance is framed as a threat to national unity or safety. In this way, division becomes a tool for maintaining control. As we've seen, the tactics used by political leaders to manipulate public opinion are varied and powerful. From propaganda to fearmongering, these tools allow politicians to shape how we perceive the world, control our emotions, and create divisions that further their power. By controlling the narrative and framing the issues, they can push through policies and decisions that may not be in the best interest of the public. As citizens, it's essential that we stay informed and critically engage with the information presented to us. Understanding these manipulation tactics is the first step towards resisting them. In a world where power is often built on deception and division, only a well-informed public can ensure that truth prevails. Alright guys, thanks for joining me in this exploration of political manipulation. If you found this lecture insightful, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with others that might benefit from understanding how political leaders shape our world, right? Stay tuned for more content on this kind of stuff, and as always, keep questioning and keep learning.